What's up, everybody? Just want to show my friendly face and always want to be on a positive, encouraging note. So right now, I just wanted to bring up something that feels so valuable, which is your individuality. And your individuality is such a weapon, if you want to see it like that. It's such a great thing because it sparks inspiration and sometimes shows a creative route that not many have even thought of before the individual shows the path that they can tread on their own. And just thinking about your individuality, I want you to also see the opposite and see how many followers are produced these days by the way our society has been structured and stuff like that. And if you pay close attention, especially if you're like a small business owner, you're independent, an independent artist, someone who's creative, or just you're enthusiastic and you're trying to get a leg up, get a little recognition and such like that, you'll start noticing that it's harder and harder to do. And the reason this being is that subtly, I would go as far as to say that the concept would be that your individuality is under attack. Me being both versed in entertainment, music and entertainment, and as well as practical business nowadays, have noticed these subtleties taking place. But what you see now is a lot of rule changing behind your back. People are sliding the hand of choice. So whether you're super smart and can figure this stuff out on your own, know how to advertise well, market yourself, which is such a important part of having a lifeline and building up any type of image or branding or anything like that. It sets a real roadblock for you, when it gets difficult to do that. And people could, talk about algorithms, stuff like that, as we are all familiar with now. And all of a sudden your posts don't show up. And you find out later why they've done this, that they've changed their format, structure, the way they do things. It would have been nice to get a heads up. Same thing with city ordinances. I'll not name the cities, but they have been changing their standards and rules to accommodate whatever plans that they have with other developers or other business relationships, usually revolving around bulk materials like mineral resources and such like that of the like. But what they'll do is say, for instance, just that they might pull an ordinance out from nowhere that says that you no longer can do hauling jobs or plumbing jobs or anything like that. Now, imagine the impact that has on every mom and pop service. People who have studied their trade craft, have gone to school, have a legitimate education, so on and so forth, only to get nickeled and dimed in the end. They pay for their license, they pay for their insurance, all these things to be legit and above board, only to have an ordinance be pulled up on them to say that they can't do what they studied for to make a living. And not only that, you have bigger corporations, and this all leads, which is unfortunate because we all should be feeding each other, but we work together, we're stronger. But then you have these other corporations out here that are also kind of doing the same thing, have agreements with the city. So when those relationships supersede what you're trying to achieve, because whatever officials in there wants to have the flashy name badge or the name. They want the name. They want their title. They want to be known. They're building a reputation. That fancy belt buckle stuff. But other than that, it really doesn't do much else other than the individual's sole sake of building their own reputation. But then look at the destructive fallout that it leaves. So in that essence, your individuality is actually under attack, and when you see your post disappear and only reappear due to paying for ads, even if you are versed enough to use the system correctly, so you're smart and you know what you're doing, you get chopped down as if you're doing something wrong, suspending people's pages for Lord knows what, and they have to fight to get their page back. And I've actually gone through this struggle, which was one of the reasons that I took a step back from a lot of social media platforms, because I wasn't sure about the stability of sharing anymore. You know, it's like they're taking the control out of my hands to share, and your hands, all of our hands, to share with one another and grow freely, and then put it back in the control of the highest paying bidder. You know, so who's the highest paying bidder? Of course, it's going to be the major corporations, the major production agencies and such. So it's like you kind of get lost in the pile, a needle in a haystack, while all of a sudden, just for instance, yesterday you didn't see it, today you see commercial for Jada Pinkett's show. And that's no attack on Jada Pinkett or anything that she's doing that's positive. I love that woman. Just saying that all of a sudden you don't see the individual's posts showing up anymore. All you see is the mainstream's media and what their agenda is. And so in every instance, you have the bigger dog, the bigger fish, swallowing up all the smaller fish, or in any other case, they got to find another pond to live in, or if there is a pond at that, by the time they're done, maybe all the other ponds are dried out. Maybe that's the method of choice, is to dry out all the other ponds, and then there's one big lake where all these big fish live, and you don't have anywhere to swim freely anymore and be the, you know, the brilliant, colorful fish that you could be, you know, swimming free in your waters as you will. So I just kind of wanted to tap on that a little bit. You guys can check it out. You know, you can check out who industry giants are. You could follow that rabbit hole. It's pretty interesting that you'll see these conglomerates own just about everything. And you'll see land developers that have contracts with cities, so on and so forth. And you'll notice the mom and pop shops disappearing for the agenda of whatever official is in office. So these agendas are handed down, and it attacks your individuality when they take away the amount of choices that you have to select from. And so that's like, you know, a racket. They're directing the traffic, they're detouring you to a few options, and that's all you have. So whether it be entertainment, shopping, eating, only these choices are going to be provided to you. Not only that, the education that you spent so much time on, and your blood, sweat, and tears efforts to learn all of these ropes to better yourself in your life is threatened, either by hourly wages because they don't want to pay you what you're worth anymore. You know, and I bless the companies that do good business, because you don't stiff your help. You never do that. And to people who have worked so hard and studied so hard to have something that they built from scratch and be successful at. And all this has hit me with so much inspiration. I just wanted to share how important I feel these things are. But yeah, basically, you know, keep on the lookout for these things. As you see these mom and pop places disappearing and you see them replaced doing the same service as a city service, or when you see that your choices are being dwindled down, or where you shop, eat, so on and so forth, etc. Just keep in mind to be a strong individual and find more ways to connect. You know what I'm saying? Find more ways to connect. Make it more personal and bring the people in, because I feel that that's what's going to save us all in the end, is our understanding of how connected we are. You know, none of this passing ordinances behind people's backs, none of this trying to outdo one another by way of taking too much over what we need, and let's just let it circulate. And, you know, everything has its place and necessity, and I think that it's enough out here for us all to be doing outstanding and to make a better nation as a whole. All right, you guys, hopefully that was positive and uplifting or informative or anything, or it piques your curiosity. I hope that it did something great today, and I hope that your days are filled with greatness. All right, check you later.